Well, good morning. This is Hero again. A lot of times I make these videos and I find that it's kind of good to sort of repeat the same subject. Those of you that just watched the video on how to get started from a nursery stock. This one here is almost like it, but it has a little bit more training. Okay, and so what I thought I'd do today is to kind of show you how to pull weeds and get to another stage. Okay, so let me pull this out so you could see what we're working with, other than having a lot of weeds in here. Okay, I guess we should take a look what we have. Okay, I'm thinking that you have the front currently, and it looks like this is probably where it's going to go. Eventually, I think it's going to go like that, but for now, I'm just going to start the style. Okay, so now, you see this line here? If you want to make this into a cascade, then all you have to do is to thin it out and make it into a future cascade. But in this case, no cascade. It's going to be one of the first branches. Same thing with this. Okay. And then get a few of these out so you can see what we have to work with. So now, concentrate on here. This is our line that goes up, and then we need a much more clear definition. You can see on this back side, I think if we go like this, you can see better that there's extra branches in place, right? So that's what we're going to take care of next, is how to accomplish that. Okay, well, for one thing, I'm going to cut off the rest of this. I know some of you are having a heart attack. No, you got to do that when you're working on these. Okay, see, right here is our line right here, and this one is just in the wrong place. So, okay, so now I think you could start to see better what I'm talking about. Well, I think those of you that have been following me, you know I have no script, right? What I did was I changed the container from one that's slightly bigger, and more importantly, I changed the tilt. What happens is if I kept doing that, I would lose focus and then get it wrong. So it was very important that I get this tilt just right. So that's what I did. And rest of it is just a matter of pruning the unnecessary branches. So, like I said, this is our line that goes up this way, and somewhere up here is our apex. Therefore, one, this is not necessary. And up here, I could either go to this as an apex or this as apex. And you see this extreme tight turn? I like things like that. So I'm going to take that as my apex. And then this needs to be a side branch, and there's a nice little one right here. So I'm going to take this big one off. So now this becomes a side branch, and it's more proportional at the location that it's at. And a lot of these stuff on the inside, they just kind of clutter. So I'll take those off. And then this one here is a good branch, but much too big, so I'll cut that off. And it's a matter of cleaning up. This is not necessary. Okay, now how to create the apex. Okay, well, while we're still here, this is the back branch, much too long. There's a nice little one there, so I'll go ahead and take that off. So now we're down to our apex. Okay, now we're down to our apex. Well, when you're considering the apex, consider your lines, right? And then because we made this really tight turn right here, I think we want to make another tight turn. So why don't we just cut this off right here? Now, I could go this way and somewhere up there, but let's go for the drum up. Okay, here we go. Now you can see, and then here's a nice side branch. This one will try to compete, so let's get rid of this guy here. So now you could start to see what the line looks like. Okay, now we're getting close to the finish. In here, there's some stuff that kind of maybe I should put my glasses on. Here we go. See, that was kind of jamming this area. So now we do that. And over here, some of these will want to go too tall, so get rid of those. And this one here may not even be a keeper, but definitely it's going too high, so I'm going to cut that off for now. And then down here, I was looking at that, and in terms of the taper, it's probably going to be better like that. Okay, so actually this may or may not be a keeper, so it might act as a sacrifice branch for now, or it could be part of the design. Those are things that will happen as this develops. That one was no good. So anyway, not much left now, is there? But now there is a clear direction. Where are we going with this? Yeah, this definitely doesn't need to be there. But I think for now, I'll go ahead and keep it. I wish there was some growth in here, which will probably happen, and use that as a fattening branch. Okay, and then as we go up, the apex is probably going to go 1, 2, maybe even 3 more, and then so the finished product is up here. And those are things you got to learn to do, is to how to visualize the future. And I think for most people that seems to be very difficult. I guess I've been around plants so many times that I could pretty well predict what this should look like in 3 to 5 years. But anyway, as a good bonsai, we're looking at 3, 5, 7 years from now. This is a great start to be a future bonsai. Okay, let's go ahead and take a final look. Now, the style is quite distinct, right? And we're gonna let this just grow back. I'll feed it and put it in the ugly section, or area that people should not go into, just so that it has time to develop more. Most likely the best way would be to let this thing flourish so that it almost loses its shape. But what happens is when you do that, it starts to get vigorous and everything fattens up. So that's the usual process that I go through. So this will probably be seen by the public in about 1 year to 2 years. And then hopefully in a few more years after that, it could go into a bonsai pot. Okay? Well, anyway, this is Hiro saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon in another chapter. Hopefully, by repeating the same subject a couple times, you'll get the hang of it a little bit better. But anyway, so this was the Procumbens juniper, and this one was a little bit further along than the first one that you saw in another chapter. But this is basically just a slightly advanced starter material. Okay? Oh yeah, let's review again. Well, we don't see much of it yet, but there should be a root flare and then the movement and taper. So it's barely there, the taper, but at least it's not reverse taper. So anyway, this will have a good future. Unfortunately, it does take time. So I'll see you again real soon in another chapter. Oh yeah, if you're looking for me, look in the Northern California. Look for bonsai nurseries in Northern California, and there's only a few of us, so I should pop up somewhere. Anyway, it's under Matsuda Bonsai Nursery in the small town of Newcastle. Actually, I'm not even in the small town of Newcastle. I'm in the rural part of Newcastle. Anyway, I'll see you again real soon. Goodbye.